Welcome, welcome, welcome to the premiere of Daniel Talks on TikTok Live. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. We like to welcome special guest Vanessa D. Anthony. She is the owner of Movie Mad Entertainment LLC and the creator of the Atonement series. She is an icon. And I'm sure, because it's TGIF right now, Vanessa, and, your icon, I don't know, can you afford to pay for a drink for everybody? Drinks on me? Well, I am so excited to have you on tonight. So we're going to learn a little bit about you, Vanessa. Give us some highlights on maybe like the town that you grew up, where you went to college, those kinds of things.
Okay, well, before I begin, first of all, thank you so much for having me on this show. I feel very honored to be a part of Daniel Talk podcast on TikTok. I really appreciate this opportunity. I'll just start. I did grow up in Meriwether County and went to Upson Lee High School in Upson County. I love Georgia. I still love Georgia because of its beauty. Of course, it has its ups and downs, what have you, politically. But I attended the Savannah College of Art and Design, and my study was in video production, digital multimedia. Had a great opportunity to intern with CNN back in the day, and
CNN.
yeah, CNN. It was back. Well, that was when Ted was still there. That's how I'm showing my age now. But after that, had an opportunity to go to Japan, and that's where Movie Mad Entertainment started. Was in Tokyo, Japan. Back in 2000, I believe it was 2004, because I moved to Japan in 2003, and there I had an opportunity to work on film, TV projects, and offered services, and met a lot of cool people, great people from all over the world, and I still keep in contact with some of those people. But yeah, I've been involved in TV and film, and I did shoot a short film in Chiba, Tokyo, Japan, called Death of a Drunk. Death of a Drunk was about, of course, an abusive, drunken man who sort of, he mistreats his wife. He's miserable. He doesn't know what he's going to do with his life because he lost the family business. So that particular storyline evolved into the story we're telling now through the Atonement series. So it started off as a short, but it had gone through so many transitions in terms of the storyline, more characters involved, because it was getting more in depth of relationships, spousal abuse, and also the injustice for victims in small towns. You understand? So, when I say we shot it in Japan, we shot it in Chiba, Japan, which is very westernized location. This was Death of a Drunk, and if you saw the short film, you would not have guessed it was in Japan because everything.
All right. So as far as the going to the Atonement series, so it started with Death of a Drunk, and it evolved into the this project called the Atonement series. Tell me a little bit about the evolution from Death of a Drunk to the Atonement series. How did we get here?
I think it was because my interest in the characters that I had developed.
Okay.
And I say this because it started with a short film and into a feature, which was about 160 pages, feature length. And I just kept writing, and I said, there's so much more to tell because I kept introducing new characters.
Mm-hmm.
I started seeing my characters evolve. They became more real. They became more three-dimensional, and relatable, And I think also mentioning that, I guess I could mention this, years ago, having to know that we had cousins from years ago to pass away. They were victims of domestic violence, and that was the first time as a child, I would say elementary school, I was with grandma, and seeing uh, two caskets,
Yeah.
of victims murdered and killed in broad daylight from a disgruntled boyfriend,
Hmm.
and also hearing stories about abuse and what have you, and how you just never know. So I
Exactly.
and just hearing in the news, so a lot of that inspired me to continue writing. And I said, you know what, there's so much to tell with the story. Instead, I
Right.
want to just break it down and just write a series because this can go on. It's ongoing. So,
Yeah.
and that's where I am today. I've been inspired to continue with it, starting on season two. But yeah, there was just so much that I wanted to and also be accurate and in my storytelling. Accuracy is to me is key. Being authentic and making it authentic because it's real. This is not something that you can sugarcoat. Uh,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
want to be truthful, honest, and it's not money. It would be good to make some money, but at the same time, it's to go beyond the awareness, but
Right.
let's talk about the prevention, how we can step in earlier when before it's too late.
And there's so many different aspects of putting a movie, a film together. Give
Oh
give us like a highlight on some of the primary things that you need. I mean, people just think you just point a camera, that's it, it's done. I'm gonna get a Academy Award or whatever.
And I think because that whole market is so saturated, you really have to stand out and come in with something different, unique, and if something of the same storyline that's already been developed,
Yeah.
become innovative. How can you do that, something like that, but make it better, make it more
Hmm.
interesting, or do a little twist that particular project doesn't have. But I can say from the very beginning is the story, is writing, and that takes time, sometimes weeks, months, years. And you have to have a passion for it and the patience,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
story development. It doesn't happen overnight.
A lot of work, from concept to actual production, and then you have the finished product in the end. What do you like most about the entire process, the filmmaking process?
Filming on location, filming is during the production is when what I like most. What
And what are some of the major themes of the movie or of the series?
I think the major themes, because we really focus on the issues of spousal abuse that started out verbally, then it turned into physical.
In support of domestic violence awareness, I have my purple vest on today.
Oh,
So,
wonderful! Yay! That'll be a wonderful event. I'm looking forward
yeah,
to it. It's my first webinar, and I know it will be not just uplifting, but we want people to watch it. We want people to watch,
right.
the series, and also give feedback. When we do our private screening, we want people to get involved and create something interactive. There will be a lot of interactive opportunities for our for people when they register, they log on the webinar. We'll keep them engaged, and we have our campaign through our fiscal sponsor from the Heart Productions. It takes money, it takes funds to make things happen, to come into fruition. So
Right.
we're really pushing for people to whether you can share, donate, to the cause, to our project, so this project can come about. We're
Can people learn a little bit more about how to get involved and the upcoming events? What's the Atonement website?
Well, they can go to www.theatonementseries.com.